Whenever I ask someone about Alsace, they take a beat and they say it is one of the most beautiful places they've ever visited. So take us to your homeland.
I would say that Alsace, first of all, is northeastern part of France. It's the natural border, of course, is the Rhine River, separating France from Germany. Then on the western part of Alsace, we have a little mountain range, which is not that high, but just high enough to protect us from the harsh wind and the bad rains coming from the west.
Hi, my name is Regine T. Rousseau, and for the past 10 years, I've built a successful business in the wine and spirits industry. I received my level 1 and 2 from the International Sommelier Guild and my level 3 certification from the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. True knowledge for wine extends beyond the pages of a book or magazine tasting notes. The vineyards are my classrooms. The workers are my teachers, and each glass of wine a lesson to be explored. Consider this an invitation to wine. Welcome to the class of a lifetime. Today's lesson, Alsace, through the palette of Jean Trimbach. Bonjour, bienvenue à Chicago.
Thank you so much, Regine, for having me and for having us, because I'm with all my children, the wines and myself.
So the wines are your children?
Yes, they are, yes.
You are, first of all, you can see by my face, I am so excited to be sitting here with you. I have so many questions, but let's start with Alsace. I haven't visited yet, but tell us a little bit more. Like, why is this place so perfect?
Because, first of all, we grow different grape varieties than probably the rest of the world. As you know, we do not grow Chardonnay, we do not grow Sauvignon Blanc, we grow Riesling, we grow Pinot Gris, we grow Gewürztraminer. So different grape varieties. And why do we grow different grape varieties? Because it's our tradition, because it's our heritage, and also because the climate is very unique. Mm-hmm. The soils and the climate. Alsace, from north to south, it's roughly 80 miles. Okay. And all the vineyards are nestled on the foothills of the Vosges Mountains. And it's a mosaic of soils. Soils like granite, slate, volcanic, sandstone, limestone, different kind of limestones, marl and so on. We have them all in Alsace. So if ever you want to dream about a soil in Alsace, we have it.
And how does that reflect? Well, we'll talk about how that reflects in the wine because we're going to taste the wines. But I want to talk about your family. You are in the 12th generation. One of the things that I read recently, there's a great book called Myth and Mortals, Family Business Leadership and Succession Planning. And the author has a beautiful quote. He says, "We are born into a story already told. We are all, to some extent, following in the footsteps of those before us." And I think this quote really speaks to your family, right? It speaks to legacy that you're building. Can you tell me a little bit about the family history and really how you've managed to build this legacy? Because now the 13th generation is also part of the business.
Yes, well, it all started in 1626. So soon, 2026, we shall celebrate our 400th anniversary. But it started with Jean. I'm Jean, he was Jean in 1626. Mm-hmm. And from being a cooper, he became a grower, a wine grower, and then it started to produce wine. And I think that it really started after the 1850s. When Frédéric Émile came into the place, and Frédéric Émile got the best awards, wine awards, mm-hmm. in Brussels at the International Wine Fair in 1898. Mm-hmm. And this was really the sort of launch of the winery.
I'm going to push you a little bit harder, because I think that to build what you have built, what your family has built, It's not. It can't be luck. It has to be strategy.
Oui, luck, passion.
Okay.
Luck, passion, and discipline, I would say.
Okay.
Oui. Luck we had because after all those wars, the winery sort of made a comeback. But it's impossible without passion and discipline.
Yeah.
And we have been raised like that.
How do you preserve the past and make room for the future?
It's always sort of, it's right there in the middle, you know, you always have to be very careful at what you want to do and what the vision can eventually be for the future. Like now we are all going into organic viticulture.
Okay.
This is something we have been thinking for many years. These wines are already organic but not certified. We get the certification with the 2023 harvest. So that has taken 3 years and it will be fully organic with the 2023 harvest. So things like that, those are little details, but those little details are very important because when you pile up all those details, it makes a difference. It makes a difference in quality, and when it makes a difference in quality, it makes a difference in prestige and reputation. And reputation is the way to go forward and to ensure that there is a bright future.
So you have done your family so much in the wine industry. You say Trimbach and people know exactly who you are, what you've done, the legacy that you've built. And I hear you say you could rest on your laurels, but you're constantly pushing for more, right?
We're pushing for more, pushing for higher quality because I think what we are doing is very good. But can we say exceptional if exceptional exists?
I can say exceptional. I'm going to say it.
Well, thank you, but we always try to buy top quality vineyards as well in order to improve the quality of all the wines. The cheapest and in between the cheapest, better, less expensive wines, up to the Clos Sainte-Une over here, which is the Rolls-Royce of Riesling. Huh? And little by little, we always can improve a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about the Trimbach style. If you were able to say, okay, Regine, you have 5 different categories of wine, if I understand correctly. Is there a word or a phrase that says, this is Trimbach? If there is.
Oui.
Si c'est possible.
Si c'est possible, yes, Regine, c'est possible.
C'est possible, d'accord. Mais c'est quoi?
One word is elegance. Even if sometimes our wines have a touch, a kiss, a caress of residual sugar, which is very rare, but it can happen. It doesn't matter. What's the most important is the balance, the elegance of the wine. And if you would ask my brother Pierre, who is the winemaker, he has 43 vintages behind him. Which are the 3 conditions to make a great wine? He would tell you number 1 is balance, number 2 is balance, and number 3 is balance.
I think I know number 4.
Balance as well, and it's true for all wines.
Okay.
And with all the details we put in the vineyards, we put in the winery, at the bottling line, in the cellar, of course, all the details, when you pile them up, it makes a little difference. And this puts us from, say, an average quality producer to a better quality producer.
And that's one of the things that's remarkable about Trimbach. Because for me, even if I open a bottle of $25 Pinot Gris or some of the wines that we're going to taste today, the elegance does ring through and the excellence, no matter what the price point, we are getting this really beautiful wine. So let's taste. Let me see if you are actually correct.
Well, we are only going to taste the Riesling, Frédéric Émile, because Frédéric Émile was my great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
And this is definitely, I mean, the house, the Trimbach, F.E. Trimbach, or Maison Trimbach, has 2 pillars.
Okay.
And these are the 2 pillars.
Okay.
The Clos Sainte-Une and the Frédéric Émile.
And then this is a 2016.
2016, current release.
So that's super important because we're seeing 2021 now, but 2016. So this wine has had time to mature and develop. Let's taste it. Do you know the term "drop the mic"? Tu comprends?
Yeah. Oui.
Okay, so you don't have to say anything else. You just drop the mic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, obviously I know the wine, and more important, we know those vineyards. These vineyards, Frédéric Émile vineyards, happen to be just behind the winery. When we were young, we were playing back there. We were even skiing in the vineyards. Can you imagine skiing in the vineyards?
No, I can't.
But because at that time we had snow,
right.
So we were skiing in the vineyards when we were young. So we know this vineyard by heart. And more important, soil, subsoil, limestone, and sitting on a bed of sandstone. And of course, vieilles vignes, old vines. So that makes the quality of the wine. And our father, Bernard Trimbach, who is 91 years old now, he named this wine after his great-grandfather in 1967. So 1967 was our first Frédéric Émile produced. And 1967, top vintage. If we would open a bottle today, it's still drinking well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is this bottle?
This is.
Oh,
I have goosebumps, when we talk about Clos Sainte-Une, because Clos Sainte-Une is a rarity, because unfortunately we only produce 7,000 bottles of this wine a year, and it happens to be
6,999.
No, this is a magnum. As you can see, it's a beautiful magnum.
It's gorgeous.
And
yes.
this is even more rare because we produce 500 of them a year.
Okay.
For the world.
Wow.
And so we are in Chicago. Chicago being one of the top markets, I had to open a magnum of Clos Sainte-Une 2017. Awesome vintage.
My audience is both wine professionals and also wine lovers, so people who are not in the business. What do you want to tell those who are not in the industry about Trimbach and why they should pick up a bottle?
Oh, they should definitely pick up a bottle tonight.
Yes, they should.
Tonight, because it's a great alternative to other white wine. If you are a Chardonnay lover, you can easily enjoy a beautiful bottle of dry Riesling or a beautiful bottle of Pinot Gris. Pinot Gris has the richness, the suppleness, it's buttery. So all those elements which we find into Chardonnay as well. Having said that, it's still a challenge. It remains a challenge all over the world.
Sure.
In Asia, for instance, and Asia is supposedly quite big, but people drink so little Alsace. And when it comes to the spicy food, when it comes to the Japanese food, the Chinese Peking duck, the Thai food, Indonesian
it's a perfect
food,
match.
it's the perfect match.
Yes, yes.
And Alsace should be out of stock. If Asia would start drinking Alsace wines, Alsace should be running out of wine. So that's the vision for the future. That's what I'm dreaming for our
Are you
children.
praying on it?
Oui, for our children.
Okay.
And the 14th generation. I just became a grandpa a year ago.
Congratulations.
First one. And so we are working for him now, and hopefully for the next one.
But let me add to that. I'm not just Asia. So I'm from Haiti, right? I often open a bottle of Alsatian Riesling to have with Caribbean food. It balances off the spices. Right. And I think it's a great way to just get people into Riesling because of the dry style. So, okay, here's my last question for you. Well, two more questions. You are a businessman. You have been running this business. So in terms of the wine industry, what keeps you up at night? What is it that you're really working to change or hope to see some change in the future?
Well, I'm not really looking for changes, to be honest with you. I'm looking for transition and continuity. Okay. But it doesn't mean that we are driving the business blind. We need to see, with global warming now, we need to see eventually the grapes that could eventually adapt to Alsace. Some of the grapes are being planted in Alsace now. in order to see how they will develop and so on. And we need to, I was talking about agriculture biologique, organic farming, and that's very important because it helps the plant to better apprehend the global warming. So that's probably our biggest challenge in the future. Having said that, we noticed in 2022 that the plant itself, the vine itself, is better resisting, better adapting to the heat than in the past.
Okay.
Unbelievable. We didn't know that the vine had such a capacity to adapt. So we have our challenges, but at the same time, it seems that Mother Nature is taking his part of the challenge, and it's unbelievable to see.
I love your excitement. I can feel it. And so I'm even more excited to drink more, no problem. So for those people who cannot visit Alsace, how do they learn more about you and about Trimbach?
I'm not very good at that, but probably on the web.
We'll take care of it.
Yes, we are on social media. The winery is on social media, of course, and this is obviously the next generation. My niece Anne Trimbach, in particular, who is handling that social media.
Okay.
And to me, social media is more like face to face, and I'm very happy with that.
Perfect. Bon, merci.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me, and longue vie à Regine Rousseau.
Merci.
Cheers.
Cheers.